It's time, and some could definitely say it's overdue, to come in and give our patio a refresh. I love to come into my areas and start working them. Now, we've been cultivating this area of the garden for over the last so many months actually together here. From working on our window boxes together, or some early summer containers that you see here, as well as the one right here. But these containers, we do have a few hydrangea blooms that have gone over, but for right now, since I'm going to be limited by the rain, I want to try to get as much done as I can. The main focus is actually really not going to be some containers, which we are going to freshen up 2 containers out here. We're going to underplant 2 more of our containers here as well. But our main focus is really going to be just cleaning everything up. Let me show you what this area looks like, because to me it looks horrendous, but there were so many things that I had to get in place. You all know how it goes. So let me go ahead and show you what everything is looking like, and then from there we'll jump right into work. First thing we're going to start off with, we are going to attack this container right here. We're going to get this container planted up. You see the campanula has fizzled away, but we still have our violas that we use in this container, and I just love violas and pansies. They are one of my absolute plants to design with in the springtime because they're just so versatile. We're going to come in, we're going to clean up these containers right here. Now, they were just looking so beautiful not too long ago, but we have had a ton of rain. We're going to clean these up as well. This container, we don't really have to do much with it. So then we're going to come along here. We're going to get all of this cleaned up. We have a weed growing back here. This is actually a mulberry tree, so we're going to address that. And again, now these 2 containers right here don't look as bad as the one right over here. Right here, but they still need to be addressed. So we're going to make sure that we address these containers. Our main thing though is going to be our weed on the ground. And I'll pick this up. See, here's one of our blooms here. So that is going to be our main thing. Our containers right here and our concrete urns. Our containers right here, they don't look too bad, but we are going to go ahead and just start addressing as much as we can get done before the rain moves in here. To pivot from the patio just for a couple of seconds, in order to tackle these 2 projects, we have our snips, and then we also have a bucket for our blooms. Let me show you what we're going to do here. This is a rebloomer here. We're going to cut off the majority of the blooms that look aged and tired. They have dried out, like this one right here. All of these we're pretty much going to snip off, except for the immature blooms, like this one right here. This one right here can stay. It's pretty much going to be bare. We'll keep this one because the goal is once our hydrangea shrub comes into bloom, we want this to be blooming around the same exact time. So let's get started. It shouldn't take us long. So we're just going to come down to where we meet a set of leaves and just clip off our hydrangea bloom right here. so far, this is what we look like. It looks horrible because we cut out our show, but let me show you something on this one right here. On this bud right here, if you look down where my fingers are, those are our next blooms right there. So we're going to also cut this baby out right here. We're going to cut this one out right above our buds here, and you can see it now. Now you can really see them. So right here, this is where our next blooms are coming from. So we'll check back in when this one blooms, and of course you can go in and you can prune out any leaves that don't look attractive. So you just come in and just pop those off. Any of the leaves you're not liking, it's fringed, it's burnt, you go ahead and you cut those off. And then now for our next and most important step here. And you can, by all means, you can use any type of snips. You can use kitchen scissors if you don't have any scissors that's dedicated for your pruning, or should I say deadheading, because that's what we're doing. We're going in and we're deadheading off that old bloom. But we did come out with a handful of hydrangeas here. So ones like these we cut off. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could use these for arrangement, but you can see a lot of them are going over, or the color is starting to fade, or they've been sun bleached. So this for me goes to the compost. All right, we'll get the water hose. This is going to be your most important weapon after you deadhead your hydrangeas to keep them blooming. We'll go ahead and shut off our water. Okay. Now, I will go in with a total of 3 of these. Are we not off? Okay, we're off now. So I will use 3 of these total. So this is a 2 gallon, 1 gallon. But I use 3 of these. This is how it looks, the size of it. Our blooms, I'm going to take that and put that in the compost bin, but it might hurt you to cut all of those blooms off, but it'll be worth it in the long run. Okay, so I'm going to take my fertilizer and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do just one spoon, and then I'm going to fill this all the way up with water. Before I put the fertilizer down, what I do is I go in and I kind of like deadhead all of my geraniums before I fertilize. That way I'm not coming in contact with freshly made fertilizer. And I do wear gloves because it doesn't take nothing but a second to pop these out. I also weed out any type of weeds that I see, because once this starts to take over the verbena, if you will, because it's already filled in a lot more, once that happens, then I'll have to weed this bed less often. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll just fertilize. So the only thing I'm doing, I come into the base and I just pour. And I try to make sure I just get each plant real good, just like that. I try to avoid the leaves and flowers. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but I'll try to get like in the undercarriage and I'll just pour. So 1 scoop here, a nice healthy scoop. Now go ahead and I cover my lid back up. I'll let it sit for a little while. And while that's happening, I'll go ahead and I will water my shrubs up here, give them like a deep, deep watering. First thing I see is damage here. Everything is dry and it might even need to be replaced. Let's see, because this is all brown right here. So what I like to do, if I can't see any, okay, so yeah, I just took my fingernail and just kind of like dug in right here so I can see that it's still, see right here, it's still green. So this one is still alive, so we definitely going to need to get some water inside of here. And this one right here looks equally as bad. And then the same thing with our front entryway containers. Now I had somebody that was watering, but as you can see, the watering was not thorough enough. That's what happens when you're away from home on an extended stay. So let's see if this hydrangea tree right here is still alive. Let's see. Nope. I'm not seeing any. Yep. Okay. So we still have some green. So I can definitely tell that it's severely dehydrated because you see it's loosened away from the container. So I can only imagine what everything looks like in the back. So I know for sure we're definitely going to start up here. We're going to pull these containers. And for some reason, there is water just puddling. So I see mud. I seen mud from down at the street, and I also noticed that it was wet too. So it looks like we may have a water main break or some type of water line break here. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, because all of this over here in this section, all of this is wet. See water just puddling up around here. Start off by watering this real quick. It's even coming out spotty. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to water this for some time because I'm gonna have to basically saturate this entire container with water. This is gonna basically need a deep soak. So we'll just set that in there, and then we'll keep coming back and moving it over to the next one. The hydrangeas in the ground, I'm not necessarily concerned about the hydrangeas in the ground, although we will go ahead and hit them with some water here. First, let me call back and see if I can get through to somebody and see what's going on with this water line here. This is how much water we have in there now. I am going to go ahead and let it reach all the way up to the top brim here, because it's only going to soak through. And I will come back by and hit this container again later. Well, I guess I could have been, as I'm walking through, I technically could have been watering this, but it actually rained the other day, and I can see that the ground kind of looks moist. So I'm not going to focus on that as much as I am going to focus on the container right here. Automatically, I'm going to go around the perimeter here, and I'm going to fill and flood this container just like I did the other container. All right, so we're going to go ahead, grab this out, and what we'll do, I'll stick this under here for right now, and we'll cut this out because they're here to see about the water main break. And let me make sure the water hose is cut off, and it is. The hole open, they're saying we might have to cover it. When the water company left, they said that the water main break is on our side, so we're going to be responsible for that. So that's one more fire that we have to put out. I had 3 contractors come out. That's why we're picking this back up so late. But now that I'm home, I definitely did not want to let another day go by without being able to post. I totally missed you all. I just missed you all so much. I'm so excited. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to be going room by room. I'm going to show you what the gardens are looking like. You all know that in 2024 our lives changed, so we're still working through some of that. We'll have scans next week. I'll be sure to update you all on the scans, but I have been away because we have been in total crisis. Definitely wanted to take advantage of the little bit of time that I had as soon as I arrived back home today. And needless to say, we're not going to be able to get the containers today. We'll just pick that up for another day, because we're definitely going to have a lot of more days and a lot more gardening to come. Until next time, my friends.